first of all, would get the awareness of the action that we're supposed to implement, and also the way to go on the single market for young people as AfCFTA is concerned. Then we proceed to take the outlook from the various regions, the 5 regions we have in Africa. Then we proceed to taking the action plans from the national leaders. Then we proceed to take the input from partners and donors that are available on this very session. Then we interact on the various questions, the concerns that we have throughout the journey and the way forward, what we think would be the challenges. We are ready to look at all those things. Then proceed to looking at how we are going to implement the opportunities that are available. So those are what we are looking at in this very engagement. So we'll proceed from here straight to taking the first part of it. I think it will be prudent for us to do a little introduction to know who is on the session, if that's permitted by my boss. So, Mr. Tama, can I proceed to take that introduction from the various people who are on the session?
Kindly proceed, sir.
Thank you very much. So let's proceed to take the introductions, the various introductions, knowing ourselves who is on this call. So as you know, I'm Bryce Etonamlechu from Ghana, the regional director for this very organization, and also the coordinator for the AfCFTA Champions project. So that is me, right, from Ghana. Thank you. So let's proceed in that direction. The next person should introduce.
I think it would be appropriate if you call names.
Kindly proceed, sir. Hello, Mr. Tama.
Okay, so once again, thank you, everyone. My name is Tama Mandayari. I am the Executive Director at the African Center for Youth Development. And I'm also a supporting staff for the AfCFTA Champions Fellowship for the past cohorts and also this cohort. Thank you. I hand it over to Eric Zong.
Thank you so much. Greetings to you all. I'm also Eric Zong from Ghana. I'm the CEO of Z Agro Solutions and also a partner with Confer Natural Group and also fellow champion of the 2026 AfCFTA. And I'm very pleased to be part of this honored group. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's proceed.
Bright, we'll appreciate if you call the names of the person so that we'll be able to save time.
Oh, okay. So let's proceed to Jama. Are you here? Okay, so Andre. Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Just proceed. Possibly they are not.
All right. So to Emmanuel.
A good day, colleagues. Thank you so much, Mr. Tama and Mr. Bright, for organizing this. I'm Emmanuel Njang from Botswana, and I'm the founder and director of High Thinkers Global, a global coaching and organization development consulting firm that is based here in Botswana, but with some regional work in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and we've done some work in Namibia. So that's currently that we're doing, and I'm the current fellow for the AfCFTA Championship for Botswana, representing Botswana with my fellow other colleagues. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Enoch.
I think because of our time, we may not be able to take all the introductions, Mr. Bright.
I'm thinking so too. All right, so we can have that in the chat session. So kindly introduce yourself in the chat session, so we can proceed fast. Okay, so Mr. Tama, kindly proceed with the keynote for us as we wait for the rest to join. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so very much. Except if you're a visitor, but if you're a champion, I'm sure one way or the other you must have seen my face. And I'm very sorry I'm not been able to put my video on because currently I am at a factory where they are producing AfCFTA champions lapel. You know, we have a lapel that for some of us who are champions are very much aware. You know, so I'm currently at the factory where they are producing it, and we hope it will be ready today. So my apologies that I will not be able to put up my video. We are doing this because of the event that will be happening in Ghana, where it's being organized by the AfCFTA, the African Union, and also the government of Ghana. We want to display some of our unique wins, you know, there and the rest of it. So my apologies, but hearing my voice can actually, I work for that, you know. So once again, I hope my apology is accepted. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Amanda. So in a very few minutes, as usual, if you can hear me loud and clear, I'll be talking about from awareness to action, you know, youth as implementers of Africa's single market, that's the African AfCFTA, you know, and I will be talking about the strategic vision for the 2026 and what role are young people, you know, what opportunities lies ahead, and also what are those things that we need to know as people who are very passionate about Africa. You know, when we talk about young people here, we are not talking about age. You can still be 50 and still be young in heart. The youthfulness, the young we are talking about people who are very energetic, who are very passionate about the growth, the connectedness, and the free movement of Africans within the African continent. Now, why the topic moving beyond just awareness? You know, from awareness to action. One may say, but not everybody know about the AfCFTA. That's what we are talking about. The action we are talking about is we have all the good plans on paper. I think it is high time for us to take a step further to implement those ideas, those things that we have learned over the years. AfCFTA presents a noble opportunity for those who are visionary, for those who are seen beyond now. AfCFTA is an opportunity for us to become multi-million-dollar people in the continent. Ability to travel and sell whatever you want to sell. Ability to transcend your micro business to a macro business within a short period of time. Ability to exchange knowledge and also learn from one another. If you're a member of this cohort, you must have gone through a series of training on the opportunities that lies within the AfCFTA corridor. What it brings to the African market, what it brings to the African people, and what it is bringing also for young Africans. Dear soldiers, because from the AfCFTA, we have been asked to call you soldiers, AfCFTA soldiers. Dear soldiers, it is high time for us to move from I want to do to I am doing it. It is high time to move away from your comfort zone in order to become the best version of who you are. We have to move from writing the vision on a paper. It is now time for us to start running with the vision. It took us over 6 months to undergo scrutiny, training, assignments, and the rest of it. The reason behind it is not just for us to learn and go and sit down. I can confidently tell us some of the champions currently have started reaping the reward of being part of this journey. AfCFTA is a virgin sector that is currently in need of visionary young leaders who will help the government of Africa. Martin Luther King said something. I don't know whether it is Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela. He said it's now time for us to begin to ask the question, what can we do for the government? What can we do for the future generation? What can you be remembered of as an AfCFTA champion? Someone who have undergone training, someone who is certified, someone who have all it takes to speak on this vision that our founding fathers birthed. AfCFTA is not a dream. AfCFTA is a reality. And one truth that we all need to understand is either you are part of the movers or you'll be part of the losers. It all depends on the quadrant where you are. Dear champions, the training that we undergone was not just to give us a certificate. No. I am very happy, as I said earlier on, for Nigeria, they've actually had a meeting with the AfCFTA implementation office. And they're integrating their activities because every country is in need of AfCFTA champions who will help them sensitize the community, sensitize the business associations and whatnot on the prospect and the opportunities that lies within the AfCFTA corridor. We have to move from complaining and be a part of solution providers. We have to move from just awareness to action. Our social media space should be a platform where we talk good about the continent. The knowledge we have as AfCFTA champions is honors on us for us to begin to call for personal webinars or collective webinars where we sensitize SMEs, where we sensitize women on how they can tap into these global opportunities. We have to own our own narrative. We have to be in charge of the narrative of what AfCFTA stands. I was just having a conversation with someone yesterday, and the person worked at the African Development Bank, and I was telling the person about please, by this year, I mean, we need a pool of fund for AfCFTA champions who are into trade. And we are just talking about the challenges that lies within the AfCFTA sensitization. And the person said something. He said, sometimes Africans don't even believe their own vision. Imagine SDGs. United Nations said there's something called so goals. And young people within African continent begin to drive with that vision. You see young people even borrowing money, implementing projects on SDGs. Whatever they do, they tie it to one SDG or the other. But when it comes to the African Union aspiration, we don't know anything about, because we don't even care to know. Dear AfCFTA champions, you are not just champions because you want to be called a champion. You are certified champion with all right and responsibility. The certificate given to you can be authenticated, can be verified if truly you are speaking from a point of legality or not. It is very heartbreaking for us to still be receiving emails from some of the champions asking us, and now that we are graduate of the AfCFTA champions, how much are you giving us for us to go and sensitize people? And we said, you are an evangelist of champion. You are an evangelist of the AfCFTA. Bring the solution to us. Bring the problem. Let's see how we can work together in providing the solution. Your space is not too small to preach what AfCFTA is all about. Even if you don't have knowledge, go on the internet. Even if you don't have knowledge, write to appropriate agencies. Write to government agency. If you can't do it alone, look for one or two champions. Put your heads together. Oftentimes, do not wait for your country lead to take actions. On your own, take action. I will be in Ghana by Monday, and I'll stay there for a week. I want to be sure, and I'm going there with the AfCFTA lapels. For some of us who fortunately will be there, we'll see how all our champions get this lapels, because anywhere you go, you put it in your dress. Who are you? I'm AfCFTA champions. Can you see? I'm certified AfCFTA champions. That's one way also. We want to support champions in carrying out this action, this sensitization action. There are a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities. Let me present to us also some of the opportunities that lies. I had the privilege of visiting an embassy of Namibia here in Nigeria because they have a new ambassador, and I was invited on the possibility of creating opportunities between the West Africa and also the Southern Africa. And I was telling, I said, except young people are empowered, we'll still continue to speak the same old language. No fund, no fund. But imagine if young people are empowered. Imagine if you have a pool of fund, just like the Silicon Valleys in the America, that strictly support young and fresh ideas. And let's invest in our people. We don't need empowerment any longer. We need investment. Create an enabling environment where everybody can thrive. And he said it's a very good idea. And I said, the only way we can do is for us to create a platform, a private sector platform, where investors from the two countries, from the two regions can meet. And I mean a Pan-African platform, not the usual political gimmicks platform. Dear champions, there are so much opportunities that lies within the AfCFTA. But it takes visionary people who understand that time is of essence. Let us, by all means, drive this vision. The secretariat is very open. Even the AfCFTA secretariat in Ghana is very open, because that is why they are there. They are there for you. They are not there for themselves. You have the right to write to them, or you have the right to write to the ministry in charge of the AfCFTA implementation in your country, asking them about the status. And that is why this meeting is very important. What are your plans for the year 2026? The year 2026 cannot be like the last year. If you don't have a product, begin to think of one. If you don't have a service you are providing, begin to think of one. If you don't know, if you are not doing anything in supporting the economic growth of Africa, begin to think of one. Now we are building the network. Look within the network. How can we sell a product? A lady from Botswana that is into tea making. I'm currently speaking with supermarkets in Nigeria, and my target is to be sure that 100,000 people consume her product in a day in an economy of over 200 million people. Imagine if 100 persons are consuming her product in a day. It's because of the power of the network within the champions that we have created. It is now time for us to move. Some of us, we were so passionate about the SDGs. We were so passionate. But when it comes to the African vision, when it comes to the vision that will put food in our table, that will save us from poverty, it becomes a problem. Dear champions, the onus lies on us for us to see to a possibility that the next generation did not become dumb or foolish on this united vision that we are pursuing. And let me tell us one thing. The people at the forefront are not the beneficiary of this vision. We are the beneficiary. So we need to ask them the right questions. We need to engage them intelligently so that they will know that, honestly speaking, if they didn't put the right thing in, if they didn't do the right thing, there are people who are coming behind them who will question their actions. Dear champions, the AfCFTA is your vision. The AfCFTA is your product. I can't wait. I can't wait to see people traveling their product and I see AfCFTA champions product in your label. I will be very happy. So it is high time for us to sensitize people in our local area. Take on social media challenges. Go on a World Guinness record of the highest person, or maybe the highest number of someone with the highest number of talking about. Just carry out an activity. I saw a proposal by someone that said he want to carry out a walk for so kilometer just to sensitize people about the AfCFTA. Imagine the kind of media attention that will attract. Imagine I Show Spit had a tour in Africa. Nobody talks about the AfCFTA. Nobody. Imagine if the whole world know that Africa is about to become a united economy. We have to be deliberate. We have to be intentional in ensuring that this vision drive. Please, if you belong to that quadrant who don't really know what to do with the AfCFTA, one of your outlook this year is to be sure you have a product that is after your name or that is after your vision. If you don't have a product, go and copy the existing product. Just make sure you have a product in the market. If you don't have a product, just go to the airport or go to one of the port authorities and say, how can I send my product to this country under the AfCFTA? What will it require? So that you will know. And this will actually be an opportunity for us to thrive. It will be an opportunity for us to sell this product. I don't want to bore us with so much, but the last month has been a very credible journey. I congratulate those people who have been employed. Currently, we have 16 of champions who have been employed within their country. And currently, we have people who are currently, as we are talking, having a meeting with their regional office, talking to them what AfCFTA is all about and their plans for young people. We have countries who have had meetings also with the AfCFTA implementation for their countries. And we have countries also who are still sleeping, who are still thinking whether AfCFTA is something they should run with or not. Dear leaders, champions, soldiers, be as selfish as you can. The AfCFTA Champions Fellowship is not for African Center for Youth Development. It's not for African Union, but it's for you. Because if you prosper, your family prosper, then the whole continent will prosper. Because when one got it right, definitely the other within the quadrant will get it. And before you know, we'll have a very formidable continent where you don't need to be looking for funding anywhere before you traveled. You have all it takes to travel. And we will now see the beauty of the continent. We are still living in our confined zone. We don't know what is happening outside our own home. There are opportunities out there. Western world, you see young people becoming billionaires overnight. We are becoming poorer every day. So let this sink in our heart that it is high time for us to put everything we have written down to action, most especially this year, 2026. Once again, thank you so very much, and thank you for being part of this awesome journey. And I will look forward to hearing some of our amazing plans. We have people from the African Development Bank who are here. We truly, truly, truly appreciate. And just as I said, from the beginning of the training, we are hoping that before our next cohort who comes in, after our meeting in Ghana, we may come up with the AfCFTA Youth Fund, where it will be Our hope is to be we are beginning with $5 million pool fund, where it will be strictly for young SMEs within the African continent, so that we can support them. And we are currently in a very deliberate conversation with Tony Elumelu Foundation. And just as I said in the last message I dropped, one of the jury will be having a meeting, but it's strictly for the AfCFTA champions. So a jury from Tony Elumelu Foundation will be coming to tell us gray lights on why some of us are not getting fund from them, because they are the judges. They are the one that judged the idea. It was on a personal plea, and because of champions, because also it's a very problematic if you have the knowledge and have all it takes, but the environment is not there, the money is not there. You feel more frustrated than when you don't even have the knowledge at all. So we understand that, and that's why we are taking one step ahead in ensuring that this journey becomes smooth and smoother on a daily basis. And we have a very strong home in Ghana. So any day, our coordinator based in Ghana, any day, anytime you need a support or you're in Ghana, please take a visit, and I'm sure we'll enjoy our journey. So once again, thank you so very much, and I wish us a very productive time together. Bright, I hand over from here. I'm not sure if our moderator is around. Our moderator, can you hear me? Okay. Can anyone hear me? Just to be sure.
Yes,
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yes,
Oh,
we
excellent.
can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, excellent. So I think what we'll do now, because of our time, a lot of people have meetings, and it's the beginning of the year. We'll begin from the regional director. Let me begin from the SEDEC, because we have had several conversations with them. Our SEDEC regional director, can you just now we are going to a section of outlook. Just as I said, after the meeting, we'll put up a publication where for some of us who are linked to one media house or the other in our respective countries, we appreciate a publication. We want to draw attention on the AfCFTA champions within the countries, so that people will begin to ask questions. Are there network of champions? How can we get to them? And the rest of it. So this is a safe space. As I said, it's a very safe space. Feel free to share your outlook, but also be smart enough not to shed up everything, to avoid too much. So I hand over to our SADC regional director, if you can hear me, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew, can you hear me? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, just 5 minutes. Presentation, 3 minutes. Yeah. Hello, director and fellow champions.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Thank you, my director. Thank you, fellow champions. My name is Andrea Gondom Juma. I'm one of the executive members for SADC Champions, AfCFTA Championships. I'm representing my regional coordinator. She's currently attending a high-level engagement in Botswana, where GIZ Botswana has brought in key stakeholders in the FTA implementation within Botswana and the SADC. So I'm stepping in on her behalf to give an update on what champions within SADC are doing. So I have this presentation I've shared. I don't know whether we're able to see, but I'll quickly go through. So indeed, just to agree with Tama, what he says is FTA is here as an opportunity for the youth. All the leaders we see today, the leaders that are in front of us, are more or less spent forces, and the future is for us, the youth, and the generations to come. So this is a very critical moment for us as youth. If we don't do something radical to transform Africa through trade and development, then we should count out for Africa. We'll be perpetually stuck in poverty. So hence, SADC champions, we're saying youth, actually youth champions are basically a very good initiative for youth voice to shape trade for development, policy and entrepreneurship. So the purpose of my presentation is to share on feedback, progress that we've made, and then the next few steps that we're taking. So just to highlight on the progress, so we've established SADC Youth AfCFTA Championship, which we are launching in March, early March. And the way forward is that we have networked with regional bodies, starting with SADC Secretariat itself, and within our national boundaries. We've also linked up to key stakeholders in government and in the private sector. So as a way forward, we've reorganized ourselves into what we call youth thematic groups, which are actually in line with AfCFTA priorities. Just to give you a few of the subgroups that we have actually organized ourselves. One is trade and policy. So here we're looking at research priorities to be identified and the need for strong advocacy within SADC and beyond. And then digital economy. So we're looking at AI to power trade and various social sectors, including health and education. And then MSME support. This is where we need to map out MSMEs in rural areas, urban areas, which are basically a bigger component of the private sector, which drives trade and industrialization. Then, in addition to that, we have advocacy and campaigns. This is where we need to raise awareness amongst ourselves as youth, but at the same time, dangle opportunities for the youth. Just 2 days ago, we had GIZ Southern Africa. They are trying to promote production and biotrade of wild species. And Malawi, as an example, we have Malawi, Namibia, Botswana, youth that have organized themselves into cooperatives where they want to be extracting wild plants with medicinal values for export trade. So GIZ is coming in to support these local or small-scale MSMEs so that they can link to high-value value chains within the region and indeed scale up production as well as commercial production of the medicines as well as other products. So these are some of the opportunities which we as youth within the SADC and then through this SADC AfCFTA Championship Forum, we are benefiting from. If it were within, if it were individual countries or individual youth groups within our national boundaries, we wouldn't access these opportunities. So Malawi youth are benefiting just because of such kind of groupings. Moving forward, key achievements, regional youth network has been established, as we've said, and draft 2026 action plans have been prepared. We're engaging with key partners within SADC as well as within individual countries as well. We've also realized there is a youth organization across Africa which is partnering with AfCFTA Secretariat, and the headquarters is in Tanzania. They are calling it Ikoyaka. You can actually Google it on the internet. So here in Malawi, we have a youth group as well under this Africa group called Ikoyaka, and we're also working together on the same mission to facilitate the implementation of the AfCFTA within our countries and the region. Challenges met so far, it's issues of limited resources for the enterprise scaling. As Tama said, we have business ideas, business opportunities, but youth cannot exploit these. There is need for deliberate exposing the youth to affordable capital. Right now, in Malawi, accessing capital from banks, commercial banks, it's very expensive that you cannot even think of starting a business. Actually, you just be working for the banks. So if there could be subsidized capital for the youth to access, or indeed grants for the youth to, push up their startup businesses, that would be very, very much welcome. The other challenge is youth are so much divided. So there is need for common platforms where youth can come together, take up leadership, including businesses. As a lesson, we are saying alignment with policymakers and financiers is very, very critical. I think through you, Director, plus continued networking, we'll make sure that youth in rural areas, urban areas, within the regions will be properly aligned to policymakers and financiers, so that youth can move forward. Otherwise, that's all that I had to share. But I think through regular meetings like these ones, I think it will be very much important, so that we also learn what the youth are doing in other regions as well. Over to you, Tama. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, our regional director. Please, if your hands are not too busy, you can just give them a clapping reaction. That's a good one. I've actually had serious. Imagine SEDEC invited AfCFTA champions not to be partner, not to go and listen, but to go and speak to the stakeholders on the opportunities that lies with. I'm telling you, I'm very proud of what SEDEC teams are doing. Imagine a regional body calling you not to go and listen, but to talk to them. That is what our regional director will be doing today. And as you can see, from the presentation, Andrew Juma also is he's one of the top people in Malawi. So in case, because he didn't even introduce where he works, he's a leading figure in Malawi when it has to do with the economy and the rest of it. So let me just stop from there. So this is what we are talking about. They already have their plan for the year. They'll be launching a SEDEC regional body by March. They have mapped out. I had a conversation with them where they want to come up with their own magazine to showcase youth product, youth threat. What they are also doing is an amazing thing. And they are totally breaking even. They saw the opportunity and they grab it. And I can tell you, they are running with it. So we look forward to seeing the implementation of what you guys are doing. And this is well noted. And I'm sure other individuals and other regions are also hearing, so that we'll be able to work together and make Africa great again. So we are very proud of you and for what you guys are doing. Thank you. And we say a very big thank you.
Thank you, Director. Thank you, champions.
Thank you. I don't know whether if the East African Regional Director is here. Have you been able to join?
Yes, Mr. Tama. I'm here.
Okay. So please.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for the opportunity. I'm speaking today as the East African Regional Coordinator, and my message is simple. AfCFTA will only succeed when we move from awareness to action. Across our region, young people have heard about the AfCFTA. I'm sure we all know it. But the awareness does not create this trade we're talking about. Action does. Our vision for 2026 includes East African youth will not be observers of the AfCFTA. There will be an active implementers, trading, innovating, and collaborating across borders. First, from awareness to practical capacity, as we all know today, many young people know AfCFTA exists, but they don't know how we use it. Our vision for 2026 is to shift from information to practical readiness. This means that equipping the youth with clear understanding of cross-border trade, skills in detail trade and e-commerce, and also basic knowledge of customs standards and certifications. By 2026, the youth should not just discuss AfCFTA. They should be ready to operate within it. Secondly, youth-led cross-border actions. AfCFTA is continental, but our engagement seems that it's mostly national. Our goal is to activate youth-to-use trade linkage across East Africa. We will support young entrepreneurs with startups to test AfCFTA in regional markets, build value chains in agriculture and digital services as well. And in 2026, the East African youth will demonstrate that AfCFTA works in practice. And the third one is a digital and inclusive AfCFTA. Am I audible, guys?
Very, very audible. Very.
All right. All right. So third one is digital and inclusive AfCFTA. AfCFTA must work for all of the youth, not only those with the capital or the connections, but in 2026, our focus is mostly on digital trade opportunities for the youth and inclusion of women, informal traders, and rural entrepreneurs. And the fourth one is from the youth voice to youth influence. What I mean by saying is that youth participation must go beyond attendance. By 2026, the East African youth will move from being consulted to shaping decisions. We aim to produce youth-led policy inputs grounded in real experience, strengthen youth representation in the AfCFTA and regional forums, ensuring that the implementation reflects youth realities on the ground, and the youth must influence the outcomes. AfCFTA will not be implemented by policy documents alone. It will be implemented by us, the people, and most of them are young. And our responsibility in the East Africa is to turn awareness into action, action into trade, and trade into opportunity. By 2026, the East African is not just will not ask what AfCFTA can do for them. They will show that what they're already been doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our regional director, who currently work at the African Union. So when he's talking about policy, he's within the system, So, and I'm also very happy that you make mention of the digital security and safety. There are a lot of opportunities out there, most especially the digital space for the AfCFTA. So much opportunity that for some of us who are tech savvy, take opportunity of this window before AfCFTA become very saturated. Take the lead, let others follow. Thank you so very much for succinctly putting it that you guys will be moving from not just talking, but implementation, transforming this engagement to trade. We want to see products from East Africa that are champions led. And just like you make mention of bringing people together is very important. Individually, it will be very difficult for us to break even, but collectively, we can comfortably pull millions of USD funds for SMEs. Imagine just like what the Southern Africa are doing, and people from Malawi are currently enjoying themselves. Imagine 10 SMEs within the AfCFTA champions become a cooperative and walk up to any bank or any institution and said, we are 10 SMEs in this area. We are trained. We know how we can navigate the African traded market, see the market where we are targeting, see all the information we have. We need this money to make this. Already you have champions within the country where you want to sell your product. Just like what myself and this young lady from Botswana, when she talked, I said, okay, I just went, for some of us who are from Nigeria, there is a very big supermarket called Sahad in Abuja, most especially. I walked up to Tree Sahad and said, there's a particular product I want you guys to sample. When it sells, then whether you like it or not, everything sells in Nigeria as long as it is a product. And we are making plan to get 100 pieces of that product. And my plan is to see how that can be done within a week. So imagine if there is a paper towards it where I said, I have a market already for that particular product. And this is our target. We want 100 consumer of your product on a daily basis. Then times it by month. Every bank will be very, very interested to, as long as they see what it takes. So thank you, East Africa Regional Director. And also you are very experienced. You have worked with the Koyaka. You are within the African Union systems. You are resources that some of our champions need to actually take advantage of. So thank you once again, and we are very happy to have you. I don't know whether if our ECOWAS director is around. ECOWAS director? Okay, possibly. I know she's a she. She may have been in a very tight engagement. Then our North Regional Director, although we tried to actually reach out to the North Regional Director, she was nowhere to be found. I was told that she traveled to Switzerland, but I don't know. But I'm not sure whether if she's in. But all in all, the North Africa also have their own. They are trying to say they can break even in the era of stereotype, where women are not too exposed to trade. So their focus is to see how they sensitize women on the opportunities that lies within the AfCFTA corridor and the rest of it. So that's the major thing for the 2026 that they want to do. They want to see how they will put women in clusters. They'll put women in clusters because of the traditional, because of the way things are done there. Men are more off than women. So their outlook for this year is to see how women will be empowered to take on trade, not just local trade, but ability to send a product from the country of origin to another African country under the AfCFTA traded protocols. So I think that's their plan. So once again, to the regional directors, those are the only regions for now that we have a designated regional directors. They are doing amazingly well. So thank you so very much. I know it's a lot of work coordinating regions. A lot of works are involved in coordinating regions, but it is our utmost desire that just as it is yielding increase in other regions, the other regions will pick up. And we are very certain that the next cohort will have regions all over. So we are hoping for some of us who will be in Ghana for the Africa Prosperity Network event. Let's try as much as possible to see there. As long as you're a champion and you make it to that event, you will be handing over the AfCFTA Youth Champions lapel for you for free. As I said, the production is currently ongoing and we'll be picking everything today. So for those who have make payment, you definitely get it. So once again, thank you. So if we all look through our agenda, the next is the national leaders. And I know we have a lot of national leaders who have so much to say, but this is how we'll do it. Any country, outside the national leaders, we have individuals also who want to just share their outlook. So we'll do it as an individual. If you want to share your outlook, you just help us by raising up your hand. Then we look at the numbers. Then because we have a very few things to do. But for now, we'll start with countries. And I think I've been seeing the Nigerian country leads. So we'll start with the Nigerian country leads, if you can hear me. So for the individual who want to share their plans for the year, please just keep your hand. Don't bring it down so that we'll know. We all started with Fabian, then Prince, then we'll move from there. So the country lead for Nigeria, I know you have done so much.
Thank you very much. Good, good morning again. It's morning from here. Yes. Confirm if you can hear me, please.
We can hear you very loud and clear.
Oh, okay. All right. I want to share my own screen too, because I don't know if that's something that's possible. Is it visible? Okay. All right. Is the screen visible now?
It's not showing, but it's showing us that you are sharing a screen. Okay, yes, it's showing. It's showing.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Thank you again. As I usually call him my Oga, this means my boss and our director. That's Mr. Thomas. Thank you for the hard work and the privilege. I mean, you are like the transformer that we drew this energy from. So it is very, very obvious that some of us have to work as hard as you are working. Um, so for Nigeria, the 2026 action plan has been drafted at least since last year, December. It has been designed and drafted properly into shape. So we're trying to upgrade and fine-tune our internal structure to ensure that operations and executions of all of these things do not collapse midway. Because Nigeria is a very, very big country with different regions, with each regions within the country and their own uniqueness of method of operation. So even some of the leaders in each of the region are very, very ready and even waiting. Because I'm aware of Northwest and Southeast and the Southwest leaders within Nigeria. Those ones are really, really waiting and being on my neck. I have to send this thing to them. They are ready to work. But we have to be sure because as the national picture that we have, we can't just take out one region and let the rest collapse. So it has to be very, very balanced. So we are going to quickly skip through who we are. We are all champions and we all know this basic one. So this is really defined. So I'll go faster from here. So our vision for 2026 is overview to position Nigerian youth as active players in the intra-African trade, to strengthen youth-led enterprises for continental competitiveness, deepen collaboration with AfCFTA institutions and partners. It's very important because the conversations with youth and the institutions responsible for implementation of the AfCFTA agenda in Nigeria are very disconnected. And this was even very, very confirmed in the meeting we had with the National Coordination Office of Nigeria. The National Director Coordinator directly said, as it was when in the middle of our conversation, said it never occurred to her and the minister that they really needed to implement the youth into everything they are doing. They've had many stakeholders meetings and they are meeting with the head of all these bodies, Medan, Nasima, all of these people, but it never occurred to them. And then she was apologizing to us there and there. So we've actually gotten the green light of being fully integrated into the stakeholders and the working plan for the Nigerian team of the implementation of the AfCFTA. And even their own agenda has gone further into with subnationals now, starting with Kano State. Immediately there and then, they already asked us for our representation in the Northwest region, which already have Mr. Kakushi Santa, who's our regional coordinator for that region. And I already told them that the Southwest region is ready, and also the South region is the next plan, and then the Southwest region. So there's a very good plan we are working on for the Southwest region. And that is going to be explained in details further in this presentation. So for the 2026 strategic pillars, key things we are focusing on for this year, that is to improve awareness and sensitization down to the grassroots and capacity building, because the reality is the people who, the information that we are going to be pushing out will bring people into the information about the FCFTA is very fast, not simplified, and can be really confusing for novice people who are coming on board. So one of the things we are doing is when we give them that awareness, we put them through a pipeline to ensure that this capacity building, to ensure that they're export ready, is very, very important, because we'll be onboarding many MSMEs this actually comes, and this is something that we're already talking about youth take on. This youth in Africa is at a very, very huge disadvantage because of financial funding and then environmental infrastructure. So for trade facilitation is very important. That is very important. That is why we have to work with the institutions that are responsible for anything that has to do with the AfCFTA. So policy engagement and advocacy, which was also part of our discussion with the National Coordination Office, and they're going to be creating a definite advice advisory council for this purpose, who will be looking to review the policies actually every year or every 2 years to look at how it is working and how it's not working. It is one of the things that we have actually adopted in the meeting we had. And digital trade and innovation, being that Nigeria is the digital trade champion of the AfCFTA in Africa, with most of our identified across anything from the fintech to trading on payment platforms and everything. The Nigerian industry has taken the lead in that aspect. So it's one of the areas we would like to build more strength in and ensure that they actually use that strength to solve the AfCFTA problems that we have. So the flagship programs are looking to host this year. Now, some of these programs are going to be held nationally, like across the nationwide, across the nation, and some will be region-based, and because of the peculiarity of each of the regions. For example, the AfCFTA Youth and Women Forum will be a national one. The Youth Trade Clinic will be tailored to each region. SME Readiness and Export Acceleration Program will also be tailored based on the feedback we are getting. And the Youth Trade Ambassador Initiative would also be that will run simultaneously, but I think it's supposed to be national. But we are looking at the technicalities in that. The reason for this is we currently have a project that is on and it will be properly launched. It's called the Project 50K. The Project 50K is a system where we are onboarding 50,000 MSMEs to be trained and be given proper knowledge on how to participate and go through a follow-up process of enjoying the benefits of the AfCFTA across the nation, 50,000 of them. So each region would have what they are supposed to do, how they are supposed to do it, and it will tell on the leadership of each of this region how they are supposed to do it. Each of the leaders of this region are very experienced people and they know what they are supposed to do, but their peculiarity and the uniqueness of what they know and how they want to do it would show in the results they pull off with the MSMEs, even though a standard will be set across board to all regions for them to know how we want it to be done and the standard of the awareness and the capacity building that we need to them to infuse into these MSMEs. So partnership focus for us is the AfCFTA National Coordination Office, which we have actually engaged and gotten government NGOs and trade institutions, which we are still in the process with some of them, private sector and financial institutions, which is also very important that we are there to development partners and NGOs, which is also something we are in the mix with because there are conversations behind the scene, but we are just slowing some of these conversations down so that we can pull off so many things on our side to ensure that when these other things are optimized to come out good. Just within December now, we've been reached out to by different fintechs and some other tech companies. Some wants to help us handle infrastructure of anything. That is from even graphics to everything, even for MSMEs. They said so many of these businesses are not available online. They would help them for free, at least for a year, give them digital tech support for any of the MSMEs be on board. So that is something, but we are still looking at the technicalities of how we would have them come on board. And this is something they want to do across the nation for a particular number of people. These offers are coming because of the little hard work that we have been doing, both on the scene and behind the scene across the board. So for the year, we would like to grow and focus on this particular type of partnership that will be beneficial to our target people, that is the MSMEs and the youth entrepreneurs across the nation. And then for us ourselves, who are the youth champions, because, like the Bible will say, we should pray to the God of labor that the harvest is plenty and the laborers are few. So it is very important that we actually look for more hands to help us do this. That is why partnership is one of the SDG goals. So the expected impact for 2026 is increased AfCFTA awareness amongst Nigerian youth, which is very, very important. The average Nigerian does not know or understand what the AfCFTA is about. Somebody will say, "Oh, I've seen you talk about it, or I've seen you post it somewhere." But the detailed explanation about it is very, very important. And how people know that it affects what they do, that craft that they have, that business that they are operating, that service that they actually render, how it actually affects them, how it benefits to them. They need to see it and they need to understand it. This is even an interesting feedback of a survey that we did last year. I think it was submitted back to me in November. Most of the Nigerian custom officers do not really know the rudiment of the AfCFTA custom officers I'm talking about now, because it is not, what's the word now? It's not, the word is not fashionable or common, just like you have trade routes more expensive across Africa than it is to China and other parts of Europe. That is why you find that the interest is more in the other side. They know more of that than they know more of how to trade under the EFTA. Just a handful of people within the Nigerian customs know that, and it has even created more interest since the member, our champion, who is now the vice president of operations, for to us is really doing a huge work with that, and the other members that we have. The conversation is very loud. So improved export readiness for youth-led MSMEs, which is very important. Many people are not export ready. They don't even have an idea, but their business, the product they have is marketable. The product they are, the service they are rendering is good, but some of them are not yet close with all the technicalities, formalities required to actually being ready. So they would actually go through that process. Stronger youth representation in trade policy conversations, which we are actively pushing, very, very much actively pushing. I'm aware that in the Southeast region, I think it's the Abia state coordinator is part of the team that are working with something close to that in the Abia state government. And the Northwest Regional Coordinator is currently going through a quality assurance training for the federal government for matters that actually have to do with people who have goods and services to do that they want to actually export or trade. This is a big deal. And these people are working on these things, and these people are separate individuals at different parts of the country. So you can identify that these people and the skill sets they actually carry are very profitable for what we have as our outlook plan. This is very clear, it's known, and it's not going to be a problem by God's grace. So expanded regional trade linkages, this is very important. Even
Can anyone hear him? Hello?
No, we can't hear him.
No, we can't hear him.
I can hear you from this end.
I think he's having network issues or something.
Yes, I think so. I think he's having a network issue. Okay, possibly he's having network issue. So maybe is there his assistant or someone within the Nigerian team that can conclude for him, or we should proceed because of our time? Okay, but in a nutshell, I've had several engagement with the Nigerian team, and they're doing amazingly well. As I said earlier on, the government of Nigeria is embedding their activities to the AfCFTA implementation plan for the year. And currently in Nigeria, the champions have actually built a digital platform that they will be onboarding SMEs. That's why they say it's called Project 50,000. It means they want to onboard over 50,000 SMEs to that platform. I've had access to that digital platform. It's a very amazing platform, and I don't know whether if it is Nigeria of a thing, the secretariat is very, very happy with the progress Nigerian teams are making so far. This is something I have to share here and give them their flowers. The last conference that we had here in Nigeria, the Nigerian champions among themselves donated 100,000 foreign currency. I mean free, donated 100,000 foreign currency to our project, to the conference that we had. We were very shocked when we received a lump sum. And we're like, for what? They told us that we are very happy to be part of this vision. We never knew such a thing is happening. And having been introduced to these things, I think it is an opportunity for us to run through it. We had a meeting with the minister, and they don't know what AfCFTA. One was like, "What is AfCFTA? What do you mean by AfCFTA?" And we're like, "What? You means you don't know what AfCFTA is all about?" That is the state where we are. So I'm very happy with their progress. They have had meetings with the Minister of Interior. They have had meetings with Customs, and the rest of it. So much is going on, and we're very proud. So this year, 2026, just as what he rightly said, they will make sure SMEs are onboarded. They want to try as much as possible to put themselves together. And also because of how big Nigeria is, they divided themselves into regions where every regional theme lead is organizing his people. They are working with the local government. They are on their own. They are on their own. So I appreciate them. And we're hoping that the champions will be able to put themselves together so that when we are looking for fund for them, it will be very easy for us to present the data of enterprises that are managed and controlled by champions. So to Team Nigeria, thank you so very much for what you guys are doing. And we look forward to a productive and amazing year. Already, just as you have said, we are beginning to see the product, because even the AfCFTA official platform has actually posted the activities of the Nigerian champions. And the secretariat, the fellowship secretariat, has no influence. They decided on their own to run with a vision. These are young guys who they understand that if they are free, the one coming behind will be free. Okay, Jeremy, I can see you're back. We lost you for some time, so if you can round up, sir.
Thank you very much. My sincere apologies for the network issues. That's why I came prepared for them, so that we'll have a backup. I think that was about 2 slides to the end of my slide. Okay, so again, I first off would like to say, with the year in front of us and the year we are in already and the operations that we have, I just want to say that in front of us we have the institutional enablers, how we programmed and categorically place them to ensure that we have a proper. Please confirm if my audio is good. Can you hear me?
Very good. Very good.
Okay. So institutional integration and recognition, which by God's grace, we are already on technical and capacity building support, which when I discovered and I tried to do a proper check of how this trend plays out in each region, you will discover that some regions have better technical support than some other regions, which is the reason why we are going to be the national umbrella is going to make it easy to spread these things out so that one region will not be at a disadvantage from the other. The whole youth of Nigeria are our business and they are our concern, and we have to be able to see that way because this is how we have received it with so much what's the word now? Love we received, and nobody held back when David poured into us through the fellowship program we received. And now that we are on this project ourselves and we are growing a network, so that because of the size of Nigeria, the network is a strategy for us to improve and also onboard our alumni and all of that into the system where we can ensure that people don't drop off or people don't lose interest or just say, oh, I'm done with that. I mean, like our Oga said, when some people are still asking how much will you give us to do this, that's a very, very wrong disposition towards what we have in front of us. So funding and support, funding and sponsorship partnership, access to data, trade intelligence and networks, which are the principal things we are on. So our implementation structure is apart from the National Executive Committee with all the national ESCOs, we have the state ESCOs, the state coordinators who we have now, who would then in turn set up their own executive for implementation because they have their own active local governments who do have to manage. The program-specific technical working groups on each of the projects will be running. The strong monitoring and evaluation reporting framework, which is something that is going to help us monitor impact, not just activities, as one of the leaders would say, or two of them particularly would say, that let us focus more on impact, not just activities or events. So it is very important that is it. And then, so to round up, looking ahead, 2026 is a defining year for youth-led trade in Nigeria and committed to collaboration, impact, and sustainability together, building Africa's future through trade. And like our leader said, when you empower any society that keeps the empowerment of its youth is already planning its own funeral. And in this process, we have ensured that we plant ourselves in the system and that which works is something we will produce. So I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to us and then commend all our own Nigerian champions and the leaders of the Nigerian executives who also have been doing the hard work and who will be executing all of this. So again, big thank you. And to our my colleagues across all the countries, Happy New Year to you. It's good to see and hear from you all again. And also, we're looking to actually work with every one of you. Thank you, Mr. Tama. Thank you to everybody. I hereby close now. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If your icons are not that busy, please let's appreciate them. These are the people you need as ladder to whatever. They are doing amazingly well. They are not just on paper. They have had meetings with those in charge. They have had meetings with customs. They have had meetings with ministers, and they are doing amazingly well. As I said, I don't know whether you heard me, during the last program that we had, champions, other countries' champions are asking us, please give us money. Champions within Nigeria put their heads together and give us 100,000 foreign currency. Sorry, 100,000 for, you know how much that is? So we truly appreciate you guys, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, and we look forward to a very, 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 very productive year. And for some of us who will be in Ghana for the African Prosperity Network, please let's have a section there, because we tend to stay for like 1 week. Possibly we may pay courtesy visit to the AfCFTA Secretariat, and our lapels will be available. If you can make it, we are sure of giving you lapel for free. We'll be meeting at the Ghana International Conference Center. So possibly one of the days I'll be there from Monday down till Sunday. So let's meet and have a proper discussion. So let's move to other countries, national leaders. The country lead for Ghana, are you available? Okay, the country lead for South Africa, are you available? Okay, let me just lift. If you are a national leader and you're on the call, please just mute yourself. Just unmute yourself and speak, apart from Jeremiah, who has just spoken. Listen, Laza.
Yes, Mr. Tama. Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a beautiful evening, a beautiful day. As the country lead for Tanzania, we've been able to make some progress on the progression of getting to understand as a country where are we and how's the involvement of youth in being part of this remarkable and transformative movement. And over the course of the last, I would say, 3 months, we have managed to engage with a couple of public stakeholders, as well as some few key leaders within some of the ministries here in Tanzania. And from some of the insights that we received from our local stakeholders, most of them really inquired for us to have a vehicle that would sort of channel all this movement, as well as advocacy that we're running locally with the rest of the Tanzania youth groups. So for the next 2 months, or at least one to 2 months, we're working on continuous engagement with stakeholders across public institutions who are playing part and parcel in advocating or pushing the narrative for the AfCFTA. So we're looking to engage with UNDP, we're looking to engage with TCCIA, which is the Tanzania Chamber of Commerce in Industry and Agriculture. We're looking to engage with TSA, which is one of the biggest startup association in Tanzania that holds over 5,000 youths. We're also looking to engage with various financial institutions to get to know what are some of the trade financing equipments that they provide for youth entrepreneurs. But we're also looking to, through the new NGO that we're going to develop or co-create with my fellow fellows, it's going to help us in developing local as well as regional partnerships with our fellow youth fellows within the EAC, the SADC, as well as various countries within the central and western side of Africa. Our greatest inquiry from the Secretariat or the African Center for Youth Development and Education Initiative mainly is to continue receiving your support, to continue receiving your blessings, because as a local representative in Tanzania, we are continuously investing in the effort to get the job done, but definitely it would really do us a lot of good in some of these engagements that we're engaging ourselves in to get the timely support as well as feedback and constructive insights whenever we require that one-on-one support with the team. Other than that, I think that's it from the Tanzanian team, and looking forward for more inclusive engagements.
Thank you so very much, Lyson. Tanzania is one of the countries that is very dear to us, very, very dear. And I must apologize from my own end. Sometimes when there are delays in getting feedback, it's not as easy. For some of us who are very close to us, most especially Nigeria, you know how meticulous we are in taking decisions. We don't want to take any decision at the end of the day will tarnish the effort of our funding fathers. So we try as much as possible. So if there's anything you have asked of us and we have not delivered, it's not intentional. We are trying to be sure we don't outrun our funders or our leaders. But our prayers are with Tanzania always. And thank you for what you guys are doing for the SEDEC team. And we look forward to having a meeting later today or tomorrow with the rep. And also we have had a personal meeting with some people from SEDEC Secretariat, on how best they should support the SMEs. We met outside Nigeria, and my hope is to see that when we meet at the event in Ghana, I should be able to, most of those countries that are very much concerned, almost all the head of the FCT implementations will be there. So we will personally, reach out to them, and some head of state also will be there. I've had a confirmation that almost 16 head of state will be at the event. So we try as much as possible to, God in his way will create an opportunity for us to reach out to them and see how we can kick off the conversation. So from there, it will be very easy for you guys to run. We know how difficult it is without support or anywhere. Thank you so very much once again. So let's keep having our conversation behind the scene, and don't be tired of reaching out, disturbing until things are done. Namibia. Do we have a country lead from Namibia? Okay. Any other country? Sorry, I can't see names, because I'm using, I don't know the device. Botswana, I think we're a country lead. Oh, Zambia. Okay. Zambia. Zambia, are you here?
Bonjour, Monsieur Tama, c'est Eli Botuna de la RDC.
Bonjour, allô, Botswana.
Je suis le contributeur de la RDC, oui. Merci beaucoup. Je peux partager ma présentation. Can I share my presentation, please?
Yes, d'accord. Proceed.
Okay.
You are allowed to share. Everyone is allowed to share as long as you are the one talking.
Je veux faire la présentation en anglais. Bonjour, en français plutôt, vu que la présentation est en français. Bonjour tout le monde. Je suis Eli Botuna, le contre-ligue de la République démocratique du Congo. Je remercie au secrétariat de m'avoir donné la parole pour vous présenter notre plan stratégique de 2026. Pour cette année, notre vision, c'est de faire de la jeunesse congolaise le moteur principal de l'intégration économique africaine à travers l'entrepreneuriat et l'innovation. Pour accomplir cette vision, nous avons nos 3 piliers stratégiques qui est premièrement de vulgariser, d'outiller et de connecter la jeunesse congolaise. Pour la vulgarisation, nous allons démystifier les textes juridiques de la ZLECAf pour rendre l'information accessible à chaque jeune entrepreneur congolais. Pour outiller, nous allons offrir des compétences techniques concrètes, procédures douanières, normes de qualité et la logistique transfrontalière. Connectés, nous allons créer des réseaux solides entre les jeunes producteurs de la RDC et les acheteurs potentiels à travers l'Afrique. Notre calendrier trimestriel de 2026 est en 4 phases. La première phase sera de comprendre, la deuxième phase, c'est se préparer, la troisième phase, c'est innover, la quatrième phase, c'est agir et évaluer. Pour notre première phase, nous allons commencer par la sensibilisation et donc faire une sensibilisation et créer des fondations. Ça va prendre de janvier à mars. Pour notre deuxième phase, sera de faire des renforcements des capacités, donc capaciter les jeunes. Ça prendra avril et juin. Pour notre troisième phase, on va innover avec nos jeunes entrepreneurs de la RDC dans l'agriculture, dans l'industrie et dans la créativité. Pour notre dernière phase, ça sera faire de grandes activités comme de foires expo et faire notre bilan de l'année 2026 et préparer l'année 2027. Ça prendra octobre et décembre. Notre premier trimestre, qui est basé dans la sensibilisation, ira de janvier en mars. Dans les mois de janvier, ça sera chapeauté sur les thèmes de rentrée économique. Il y aura des conférences hybrides de la ZLECAf au-delà des discours. Les panels sera composé des experts et entrepreneurs. Pour le mois de février, il y aura des webinaires sur la ZLECAf 101, comprendre les règles d'origine, comment prouver que notre produit sera issu de notre pays, donc made in DRC. Pour le mois de mars, spécialement pour le mois de la femme, nous allons faire des workshops, des masterclass qui sera axé au financement pour les jeunes femmes exportatrices. Notre deuxième trimestre sera axé sur la logistique douanière et les e-commerce. Pour la logistique douanière, nous ferons des workshops et des simulations en avril. Pour les e-commerce, ça sera des masterclass sur le packaging et la certification avec l'OCC. Nous sommes en train de voir comment faire des pourparlers avec l'OCC. En juin, nous allons essayer d'étendre notre collaboration avec le Kenya et le Nigeria pour voir comment étendre notre collaboration, vu que nous sommes tous de jeunes ambassadeurs de la ZLECAf. Notre troisième trimestre sera axé sur l'innovation dans les secteurs clés comme l'agriculture, l'industrie et les négociations B2B. Donc, dans les mois de juillet, nous allons axer sur l'agriculture. Dans les mois de août, sur les industries créatives. Le mois de septembre, ça sera les négociations. Donc, apprendre aux jeunes entrepreneurs comment présenter leurs projets au niveau international. Notre quatrième trimestre sera chapeauté par les réseautages et les bilans. En octobre, nous prévoyons faire des foires des jeunes exportateurs, donc des jeunes entrepreneurs. En novembre, retour d'expérience, donc le témoignage des 5 qui ont réussi à à faire quelque chose pendant nos programmes, vu qu'il y aura des programmes de formation et des masterclass. Non, la définition de notre format, les conférences et les webinaires, donc ça sera sous forme des informations larges, des panels de discussion, sensibilisation des masses. Le masterclass, ça sera de formation pointueux par un expert. Des workshops, ça sera des travaux collaboratifs pratiques. Notre indicateur de performance pour cette année 2026, nous, les jeunes ambassadeurs de la RDC, nous comptons atteindre plus de 5000 jeunes, satisfaire plus de 80% de nos programmes, faire créer au moins 10 startups et avoir 3 partenariats stratégiques. Pour cette année 2026, nous voulons quitter de la théorie, aller à la pratique et faire de la RDC un centre du commerce africain. J'ai dit et je vous remercie, c'était tout ce que la RDC a prévu pour cette année 2026. Monsieur Tama, je finis. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, Ele Batuna. That was excellent, strategic, and also... Oh, I can see Bright have joined. Bright, can you hear me? Okay, merci beaucoup.
Yes, Mr. Tama, I'm here.
Okay. Let me just comment on the Batuna presentation. Thank you so much, Batuna. For some of us who don't understand French, my apologies, but he was just telling us his activities within timelines, what they'll be doing between January to March, April to June, July, how they intend to carry out capacity training, certification trainings, for their people, how they'll leverage partnership, the ability to partner with Nigeria, Kenya, and the rest of it, and also getting involved in some of those regional activities and the rest of it. So this year is full of collaboration. So let us open our doors. Let us open to collaborate with one another across the border. That is where AfCFTA implementation begins. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Merci beaucoup, brother. And we look forward to see how possible we can collaborate, how we can actually work together and support. And just as I tell you, the last African Cup of Nations has actually projected the Republic of Congo. So this is an opportunity for you to shine and keep shining, and you are doing amazingly well. So once again, thank you so very much, and we love you. We truly appreciate the effort you are putting in ensuring that sensitization is well known, training in the area of agriculture, and the rest of it are embedded in your national plan for the year 2026. And thank you for putting timelines within quarters of what you intend to do. So once again, thank you, and thank you so much. So I hand over to Bright to continue with the country presentations.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Tama, for holding the fort. I think we can proceed to the next country.
Vani, bonjour. Or bonsoir. Is it afternoon where you are or morning? Is our Cameroon leader available? Cameroon? Okay. South Africa? If you're a country lead or you want to speak on behalf of your country, please just go ahead so that we'll begin to give individuals their plan for the year.
Yeah, Mr. Tama, I think some few people have raised their hands, so I think they are ready to speak. So we start from Prince. I don't know if.
Okay. Should I go ahead? I'm just. I'm not a country lead.
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, thank you, my director, Mr. Tama. Thank you very much for the opportunity and the exposure also that you gave us. And I must say, the passion with which you drive this movement is actually contagious. Yes, no one can listen to you without having that drive to do something. So thank you very much. And also thank all the executives, and especially the Nigerian executive. They are really, really doing very well. I must send my kudos to them and my country president, Mr. Jeremiah. Thank you for all you do and the vision of moving this forward. Okay, quickly, I have two things to say. The first one is, as an individual, I've started a movement which my director have already intimated you on that, but we had a little challenge along the line with regulatory agencies. Which you are trying to resolve. So that movement, because as we are going around it to get AfCFTA involved into activity's sake or for reporting sake, but that will actually drive impact, measurable impacts, evidential impact. So since our target audience are enterprise support organizations, so we started thinking, before now, I've been into consulting for some years. Before now, I've not really paid attention to AfCFTA. Yes, AfCFTA is a new thing, but even before it came in, I just had a theoretical knowledge of it. We have enterprise supports that are involved in accounting processes, legal. We have people that are into strategy and operations. We have people that are into HR. But I've not heard, you can hardly see people that are into trade finance or AfCFTA, in border trade in that area. So I started thinking, okay, what if, since I'm bringing these enterprise development supports together, what we made it clear to them that, see, these MSMEs, you solve their problem, you handle their solutions, you help them, you conduct trainings for them, you do business interventions for them. So what if these ESOs now take up a part of this as their services, like doing it as an advisory services, or doing it as a trade finance, like doing a hand-holding for MSMEs that want to go into international trade, or they want to leverage on the AfCFTA framework. Now, because I'm part of the Aba Export Growth Lab that was launched by the Abia State government in partnership with UNDP. So I was part of the research team that went to the markets, focusing on the leather works and the garment industry to do research, collect data in order to frame this intervention, export readiness program. So my experience was that, yes, people have products. They actually want to sell internationally, but they are totally ignorant of how it is done. And most of them are not even ready to pay the price because they are used to a particular way of doing it. Yes, in my locality here, Abia State, about to be precise. In fact, it is the shoe manufacturing hub in the whole of West Africa, the largest. But every day shoe leaves the shores of Nigeria to Congo, Cameroon, but informally, it's not captured in the data. It's not captured. When you look at trade metrics, you don't see those figures reflecting there. So we will not try to onboard them in a formal way of doing international trade, that was why the Aba Export Growth Lab was launched. So we are developing a sport strategy document for them. We are mentoring them and holding them. So that is where I now understand the bulk of work that is on us, the champions. It's not just like you rightly said, it's not just awareness, it's not just sensitization. It's not just conducting webinar, but the this is that to make goods flow easily across Africa. That is the whole essence. If we do all these seminars and interventions and goods did not flow freely. People do not know how to go about, sending their goods across Africa. Then it looks as if the aim has been defeated. So now, this now gave me these thoughts. Okay, since these ESOs are involved, why not bring them on board? Which is why, which you have graciously accepted to be one of the speakers, and also our country president will also be there to speak to these ESOs on the conference day, to let them understand that this is an opportunity. This is a new opportunity they can leverage on and expand their reach, expand their activity. And also, since we are bent on doing a practical solution to these people, the MSMEs, I don't think there is a hub or a community where an MSME that is having challenge in sending his or her goods across Africa can go and say, I have this problem. I need a hands-on knowledge, practical solution, not just theoretical, like a hub where you go to them and say, I need to send my goods to Togo. What do I need to do? And you will receive that practical solution. I don't think that those things exist here currently. And also, I also think, since we are all from different parts of Africa, I was also thinking we should start thinking towards having export decks amongst AfCFTA champions, where as a consultant, I have clients that need to send their goods to Cameroon. If they are having difficulty in the country, maybe regulatory difficulties, I'll just call the AfCFTA export decks there in Cameroon, because we are one. We are pursuing one vision. I think it will be easier for goods to move around, to break some of the knowledge gap, logistic gaps, regulatory gaps, when each of these countries has AfCFTA export decks where we can get first-hand information regarding movement of goods, regulatory compliances, product specifications, and all that within our region. So this is what I'm planning, and personally, which also I'll bring some of us into it. And also, this last one I said is like a suggestion to Mr. our director. If we can make that happen, have export decks in all the country, and we get connected, we can see what is going on here with regard to trade, with regard to different sectors, agro processing and all that, so that if we have people, like Nigeria is planning now to onboard 50,000 MSMEs, train them, and these people, you couldn't just end in training. After training them, of course, there should be some kind of, those that are into those businesses, okay, after training, what next? I want my goods to move from country A to country B. What can I do? I think also we should be able to give them that assistance. So that is my first one. Then the second one, I think I need to discuss that with Mr. Jeremiah, my president. He just read out our vision, and I know it's a progressive document. There are other things that just came to my head that I think I will need to discuss with him. That's when we are an in-house discussion. Thank you very much. Hi there, can anybody hear me?
Yes, thank you so very much, Prince. Thank you so very much, Prince. That was a well-detailed explanation. And if there's one person that I know that is passionate about United Africa, about trade, about AfCFTA, you are one of them, and you're actually taking advantage of your social media platform. I've never seen a day where you don't post anything in respect to AfCFTA. So thank you so very much, and for that effort of issues in the financial areas, and just like what you said, those are opportunities. What will stop one of us from providing that solution within a digital space, of creating a systems where whenever you want to know about what it takes to sell your product in the other country, it's just a click away. And that's why our country, we need to advocate for youth decks, trade decks, where young or SMEs decks, whatever you call it, so that SMEs can go and make inquiry. Don't allow banks to take over, because if banks take over, they will now begin to tell you that before they will give you any information, you have to open your account with them, and they begin to charge you on whatever you want. So this is our vision. that we need to run with. You know, Mr. Prince, the guy is an idea machine. You know, so these are some of the ideas that we need to run with. It doesn't take much to build platforms. You know, build platforms that will provide solution. You know, I was having a meeting with an ambassador of Namibia to Nigeria, and I was telling him, how can young people, you know, trade within, because we are talking about population. He was complaining, I was complaining about how it's difficult. There are young people there who have product, but the market is not there and the funding is not there. How can we bring them down where there is a market for the product? You know, we're just, and even him and ambassador don't even know much about the AfCFTA. So I have to educate him. And he was like, oh, are there Namibians in this? I said, yes, we have champions. You know, the same thing with other countries also. So thank you for this wonderful idea. This is can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me now? I just lost out. I don't know.
Yes, yes, yes. Back now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're back now.
Is the internet issue? My apologies. My apologies. You know, so as I was saying, those are the opportunities. And please, it's better for you to try and fail than not to try at all. You know, try and fail than not to try at all. You never can take that solution. Will be what will project you, and it will forever remain a record that you provide an innovation. It will forever remain in a record that you build an innovation, whether you survive it or you did not survive it, but you were part of the implementers. AfCFTA have issues. When you have meeting with the secretariat, you know that there are issues. Even this sensitization is a very big issue. How can we get to the villages? How can we get to the hinterland? How can we break down? How can we break down this AfCFTA language to a layman for them to? Those are problems, and that's why you are champions. You know, you are seen ahead of every other person. So put your heads together. You know, provide solution, no matter how small it is, no matter how small it is, take it. But we are hoping, because funding is a very big problem, which I'm hoping that between before on 7, we should be able to know whether if we'll be launching the AfCFTA Youth Trade Fund this year. Our target is to begin from 5 million USD, where we'll make it available for innovations that are youth innovations, that are SMEs, you know, SMEs, most especially targeting SMEs champions. So see how we get that done. So thank you so very much. Cameroon, we have a lot of countries who have, I don't know, are they getting cold or what?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tami.
Okay.
Let me take the opportunity also to say something. I don't know whether we have a country link for Kenya. I'm not sure. But let me say I thank God for the privilege to be among the persons who are selected to participate in the AfCFTA training last year. And it has really opened my eyes, because I've been a person who has been so passionate about trade and creating wealth through business. Yeah, I'm James Maneki from Kenya. I am a social scientist professional and also very passionate about social entrepreneurship. I've seen community transformed and change for good. Let me say, in regard to the knowledge that I acquired from AfCFTA training, it has boosted my career and also my vision in serving communities. Yeah, there is a group that I founded back in the year 2021 when I was still in Tapas. And it was a youth group somewhere in the village. And when I came to AfCFTA fellowship, I realized we can go even beyond the village level, and we can even reach the wider market of the African continent. If at all, the technical barriers which exist between countries and nations are abolished, and we have a single market whereby we reach a wider market, despite has been village. So regarding the group and my focus this year, that's one thing. I'm focusing on capacity building, as you have said. In the rural communities, I am a community development professional. So I'm very passionate about community development and change at the grassroots level. And I started by telling them and opening their eyes that they can do value addition on agricultural products, and surprising it, we can land even to our neighbors, our neighboring countries, and also beyond East Africa. If at all we have, we understand what we can do as a youth group. And I think that's one thing that I'm really rebelling for this year. I'm planning also to continue capacity building their skills, and also elevate them to a level of next SMEs. However, finances are the challenge, but we really hope that to push ourselves with the little that we have to move to the next level as young people back in my village here in Kenya. Let me say also, I'm also having another group that I'm mentoring on skills, that is on tailoring, and these women that I'm working closely with. I am looking forward to building their capacity and making them reach to a higher level. That is the main focus is on social entrepreneurship, whereby we are encouraging a certain behavior change in my community where I am currently, and I'm working with an organization whereby we can divert the gender-based violence, let me say, challenges that face young women, and provide psychosocial support as well as economic empowerment for them. And with the skill that we give them, that is on fashion design and many other things, they can really lift them and scale them beyond their local village, as well as improve their visibility. Yeah, and that's one area also I'm really working and trusting on for in this year as we move on. But also regarding AfCFTA, I'm very passionate about research. I believe I'll start taking bold decisions and getting engagement with organizations like African Organization for Standardization, which is really pushing for harmonized intra-trend within Africa. And we all know one of the challenges, even the people from the village, when they hear standardization and quality check, that where many SMEs and many passionate people go off. Because for your commodity to be accepted, for instance, an agricultural product like honey, you know it's good, it's but for all those barriers and approvals, it becomes hard for these people to go beyond the village, and as well as reach the wider market of many people who are very critical in seeing the approval and various standards have been met. So I believe there's an area that we can, I can do research on and focus what is really making many SMEs and very passionate young people also lose confidence of upscaling their skills, and also how can the AfCFTA as well as other regulatory bodies who are involved in trade and and seeing that all protocols are followed, can work together to ensure we do it for the good of the common mwananchi, or the person at the grassroots. Because I'm very sure there are many people doing great things, but they don't have the platform or the opportunity to upskill them. Yeah, so with that, I want to say thank you. Asante sana.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. That's amazing, and I'm happy that you are taking capacity and also research in finding out why people are losing interest. Those are areas, and please, we are very open to partner and carry out this research that you intend to carry out. In any way or the other that you think we can support, because if we don't understand the issues involving interest, we may end up beating the air. So once again, thank you so much, leader, and we look forward to engaging after now. Our Ivory Coast, Junaka?
Yes.
Bonjour.
Morning. Yeah, bonjour.
Let's hear from you.
sorry for being late, but I don't really. If you can just give me an overview of what we now talking.
What we're talking about is just tell us your plan for the year 2026, so that if there's anything any country can support, or we can support whatever it is, we can now put heads together. Just in a few minutes, your plan for the year for your country, Ivory Coast. I know you guys have done so great.
Okay, great. Okay. Yes, we have started working on the legal aspect of our organization. I mean, the GN Zilek of Cote d'Ivoire, and we already submitted the document in the institution in charge of this in Cote d'Ivoire. We just waiting for the feedback regarding the legalization, and then we can now start working with the secretariat in our country, because this is what they asked in terms of recommendation. And also they asked, they requested a roadmap from us that we need to submit. And this is according to this roadmap that we are going to work together. We already finished this roadmap, and it is about the different project that we are going to do this year. First of all, we are going to work on a project that is going to consist in working on awareness raising at the level of Cote d'Ivoire, because there is still this issue of ignorance regarding the AfCFTA in Cote d'Ivoire. So we want to work on this aspect, so that the youth in Cote d'Ivoire be aware of the different opportunities regarding AfCFTA, because the Secretariat itself said that they are going to support us in case we want to work on such initiative, because it's still important to talk about the initiative in Cote d'Ivoire. And in this roadmap, we also have the aspect of diaspora, because we are planning to put all Ivorian diaspora together in different countries where we have a strong presence of Ivorian. And this is going to also be related to the roadmap, because we have different activities that we want to do at the level of those different countries, such as those who are in France, in China, in Canada, where we have a lot of Ivorian. Also, another thing in this roadmap is that we are trying to put together our different initiatives regarding communication, digital communication, and the Secretariat said that they are going to work together with us, so that this digital campaign be effective, because they need our support in terms of campaign, so that all kind of initiative at the level of secretariat be be increased in terms of visibility. But for a project, a specific project, we are working on it. And we are going to organize our first forum in Cote d'Ivoire. And this forum, we are going to invite all the different civil society and also organizations that work together with the secretariat, and also organization led by young people, in Cote d'Ivoire. And this forum will consist in talk about the different opportunities of AfCFTA in Cote d'Ivoire and also at the level of Africa. We will try to show how AfCFTA works, first of all, and also how it works at the level of Cote d'Ivoire, and how young can join AfCFTA and what they have to do, what are the different opportunities, and also all those things will be presented to youth, so that they try to be engaged in terms of AfCFTA, because we need to work together with them, and before working with them, they have to know what exactly our different activity, what we have to do, or what we are planning to do. So this is a bit the component of our roadmap. It's really very big. I cannot talk about everything right now because it's too long. It's too long. But what I would like to mention is that, as you said last time, that you are going to see with the secretariat for the letter from them, letter of recommendation, something, an official letter. This is going to really help us in terms of collaboration, acceleration of our different activity with our secretariat in Cote d'Ivoire. So this is a bit what we are planning to do, but I'm going to send you our roadmap so that you're going to identify our different activity and maybe see how you can assist us in terms of activities or what we want to do. Okay, so thank you, Tama. And
thank you so very much, our Ivorian leader. Please, if your hands are not busy, just give him a round of applause if you can hear me. Thank you so very much. Ivory Coast already, you heard what he said, that the secretariat need them. That is the mindset. They have already met. They are working hand in hand with the government of the country, the institution in charge of the AfCFTA implementation. And they are not just focusing on Ivorians within Ivory Coast. They are also focusing on Ivorians that are in diaspora. They are creating a platform, and they have put themselves together as champions. They are now registering the AfCFTA champions as an entity, as an organization in their country, so that they will have the legitimacy to engage with all the institutions. But they have actually met with the implementing secretariat of Ivory Coast, and they are very willing. And there are also other institutions within the country, because that is where AFDB is headquartered. So thank you so very much, Bro Eugene, for your leadership. You are such a smart, moving fellow. You're actually breaking grounds. And just as I said, we reached out to the AfCFTA Secretariat for them to give us a letter, but we were asked to hold on until they have to get that permission from the African Union. And the bureaucracy of getting such a thing. We have you in mind, definitely, because whatever it will take for us to make your work easy, we will definitely do that. So thank you so very much for that feedback, and we look forward to be a part of the forum that you guys will be organizing, and to keep the conversation going on. So let me call on Fabian Motama. Let's hear from you. Because of our time, I will need to move. We just maybe after Fabian, we'll just look for any country lead that is still around, or maybe one person to share his or her outlook before I bring up to conclusion. I will move to the issue of magazine. Fabian, if you can hear me. Fabian Motama.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Thank you.
Thank you. All protocol observed. I'm so grateful to be in this platform. This is my first time. I'm not any lead. I'm just an enthusiast of AfCFTA. I love things to do with language, that is social science and art. I come from Kenya. I'm an actress, a voiceover artist, and also an author. And why am I interested in AfCFTA? I've worked with AfCFTA since 2023 in translation and interpretation for Kiswahili. And I'm a Kiswahili ambassador since 2022. Sorry to say, an award winner 2022 from Canada and as well as from Tanzania, African Women Success. I would say I'm just a young girl who's just trying to make Swahili an African lingo. And I've been trying this with my own means in conferences. I remember in 2023, we launched Swahili, sensitivity of Swahili in the University of Ghana, Legon. And I'm so happy Ghana actually is the first country which started studying Kiswahili in 1949 before us as natives in Kenya and Tanzania. Well, I didn't know about this AfCFTA fellowship, youth champions, and I reached out to somebody. I saw a flyer on LinkedIn, and I reached out to, is it Yari? And I was so eager to know what it's all about because I've been wondering for some years. AfCFTA, it's a flagship for AU, it's agenda for 2063. As youth, we believe we are the key drivers for this. We cannot just watch and listen. But again, my concern was, did I mention I'm a communicationist? My concern was, this is a very key drive to Africa, but it is not well covered. What do I mean? Is that I just see these notice and newsletters from LinkedIn alone. Africa is not about LinkedIn. Africa is not about Twitter or X. Yeah, most youth, yes, or only elite and educated are on X and LinkedIn. What about the others? We are talking about SMEs. No SMEs is on LinkedIn, apart from those ones who are educated and X as well. And when we talk about what we've done as AfCFTA youth, what we've done as African, whichever the case, when you place it on LinkedIn and you place it on X, it's only us who will see because they have accounts there. That's number one. Number two, I don't see it covered in media. When I won my book in Kenya for a said book, I was called for all media platforms for the entire year. And I've been wondering, why don't we do something about this? Actually, I reached out to AfCFTA themselves and I was wondering, why is it that I don't see these things in Kenya? When I was in Egypt for interpretation, there was this committee which was being raised where I think I belong in art. Because I'm an actress and I'm a writer. That means I'm in for this committee, which is IP, intellectual property. And I was wondering, how will AfCFTA be able to cover all this? Because in one of the protocols of AfCFTA, in one of the annexes, it's about African content, African-owned platform, and African-based material, like the way you talk about SMEs, the platforms. which country has platforms? I'm really proud of the West countries, to mention Ghana and Nigeria, and I've heard Tanzania. When I go to the work, because I just happen to know AfCFTA through what I do, through work. When I go to Biashara Africa, I see so many SMEs from Tanzania, but I don't see many SMEs from Kenya. That means there's no media coverage. Yes, people know, somebody mentioned about AfCFTA. Yes, people know about AfCFTA, but they don't know what AfCFTA is. They don't know what it entails. They don't know what it covers. We only see that in media. AfCFTA is here in Kenya. I've seen it on LinkedIn. I've seen the Excellency Wamkelemene and the personnel for trade and agri, Roslyn Ngeno and Chege, I think. But I've followed that through what? Through LinkedIn. I would say the communication department is also doing some improvement about Facebook. And I think there's a lot to be done. So this is my challenge. And I really hope that there's also another cohort, because I want to be, let me be selfish. I want to be in this cohort, and I want to take what it takes to make Swahili as an African language through the content annex to become an African lingo. I'm also a student in taking communication, translation, and linguistics. I've written a paper actually, which means to institute Swahili as an African lingo. And when I started this as a student back in 2012, I used to go to Swahili conferences and learn what people were doing, learn about what other scholars were doing. We have associations of Swahili. In Kenya, we have our National Swahili Association, Chakita. We have a conference in March. We have our global Swahili conference, which is Chaukidu. We had it last year in Kenya. We have East African, we have Kakama, East African Community Conference, Kakama. It is happening this February on 14th in Zanzibar. And so many. And the reasons we want to go to other, I'm not talking as a council, I'm just talking as a member and as an eager African. We want Africans to embrace our language, because first of all, UNESCO this year has recognized Swahili as the most popular and most used in African indigenous language. It is our East African lingua franca, okay? So many countries have agreed on MOU. Only Tanzania is putting forward. And sometimes I become bitter. I don't know whether it's because I'm so passionate about it, but because if you look at those AU bodies, and I'm saying this because I know I have seen, I know AfCFTA Secretariat is here and the chair is here, they can be able to roger my sentiments to the bosses who are the AfCFTA to the AU. I feel like we should petition AU, and the reason is being, we have so many bodies in AU, right? I've worked with ECOSOC, I've worked with AUDA NEPAD, but we have also PAP, we have even so many others, and IGAD and so forth. But why do we have IGAD meetings with only English and French? Why do we have ECOSOC with other 5 languages without Kiswahili? Why do we have PAP conferences or other meetings with other African national languages, official rather, without Kiswahili? If we really want to thrive into 2063 agenda, and if we really want our voices as Africa to be heard, because we talk about hashtag Africa Rising, hashtag Agenda 2063. And I am so happy we have champions of AfCFTA, because AfCFTA is a key drive of AU for this agenda to happen. So we want not only, because it seems that they can only endorse Kiswahili when we have delegates from Kenya or Tanzania, and mostly Tanzania. And that is the reason I'm quite bitter, Because how are we going? I hear ECOSOC talking about, I know that is not our concern, but we're thriving for all Africans, not about bodies. They talk about reparations. For instance, Barbados is in the key front for reparations from the West. How do you go ask for reparation to the colonial power with their language? How do they see you guys? How do they see us? Why is it that we just allow them? We're not having hatred here, but sometimes is, equal power, equal opportunities, and equal fairness. Why do we only push Swahili when we have representatives of Swahili? When will it become an African language? And I'm saying that, and I know there's a representative from Tanzania. Those SMEs from Tanzania do not know English. And they're educated just because of business. They just they get to know English just to miss the correct word, just Kiingereza cha kuomba maji. So I don't understand why we just force ourselves to do these things and that things, just because, and foremost, why do people say that we cannot use Swahili in these meetings? Those who are concerned and those who are answerable, it's because of lack of funding. Why don't we say, because of lack of funding, let's remove Spanish? Because Spanish is spoken in small countries in the north, and Kiswahili is also in small countries in. Why do we just have the first opinion of being Swahili omitted? It is not fair. And at the same time, we are talking about the rules of origin. We are talking about African content. We are talking about African on-based platform. It can't be. And for heaven's sake, all those social platforms, all of them, we enrich those people through our content. The most valued content comes from Africa. I think Kenyans feel X all the time. I think Tanzanians feel Instagram. I think we connect Kenya and South Africa and Nigeria through TikTok. Who is going to make those African platforms if not us, the youth? Who is going to soldier on for our language if it is not us? Because those guys who are experts there, they do not know what we know. They cannot through research and through meetings and what have you, but we are the people who are in the grassroots. Believe you me. When we talk about interoperability, what do we talk about? Business cannot move on without a language. There is no action on earth which can't go without human communication. And if communication does not happen, it's because of language barrier. Until when are we going to have this? So mine was just to give you a challenge, and also Roger myself say that I want to be in this cohort, and I'm more than willing to work with you. And let's just reach the media, just media platforms. If you send me, I'm ready to go to the Kenyan media. But I was wondering, how do I go and talk about something where I'm not involved? I talk about Kiswahili because yeah, I'm involved. But in AfCFTA, I'm not a member. I work for them indirectly. Just to mention indirectly. So I think we have a lot to do, and I think we should have more champions. I'm happy I've had champions on the blocks. I've had East African chair. Can you please come to Kenya? Can you please meet us? Can you please come talk to us, and we know how and understand about this fellowship and so forth and onwards. We see how we can work to better our African continent together. As Kwame Nkrumah said, onwards and forward. United, we must. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Phoebe and Mafana. Thank you so very much. You talk with such a passion, and I was the one you communicated with on LinkedIn. I can remember vividly. It was when you opened your mouth that I remember. So, conversation continue. This cohort already, they have graduated. You know, they are currently on their field works. You know, they have undergone 6 months. Everything was just 6 month training. We trained them on what the protocol is all about. And thank God you already have experience, you know, on that. We certified them. And now we have every champions. You have a lapel, you know, that we give to champions, and also a frame, and also a magazine. We usually produce a magazine at the end of the cohort, you know, to make sure that they have it, their contact, so that they keep networking among themselves. But you actually raise some of the pertinent issues. You know, I remember back then when we started at Great Minds Empire, we were advocating for African language because we are so much divided in terms of language that when people are divided in terms of language, there is that line that for us to work together it will be very, very difficult. You know, example like Cameroon, you know, Francophone is there, Anglophone is there, you know, a lot of things. So definitely we'll work together and see how we push this. And the reason behind the AfCFTA champions is to sensitize the local, is to see how we bridge that gap, is um, to see how they can go to their local area and tell people what the AfCFTA is all about. We are very much concerned about bridging that information gap. And just like I was saying to people that joined earlier on, how can we translate this to the local language? How can we bring it down to, you know, in an Afrocentric way? Let it be Africa for Africa. Definitely, no one would define who you are better than you yourself. You know, so these are some of the things, and definitely you have our full-time. Let me see who hold me responsible. Andrew Juma, you hold me responsible. Fabian already will have a full-time scholarship to be a part of the next cohort. You know, you have to hold me responsible so that I'll push for that. You know, hopefully.
Thank you very much.
The call for this thing will be coming up, but we cannot wait until that happens. You know, we have so much that we are currently want to engage, and so possibly after the meeting, we'll go back to our LinkedIn conversation again to see how we kick off from there. Sorry that I didn't, possibly, I don't know whether if I even answer or I did not. You know, I receive a lot of messages every day. You know, just this flyer alone, I've received over 300 inquiries on LinkedIn in respect of how can they belong. But I remember your message vividly when you spoke passionately about. So those are some of the issues we are trying to avoid, because we understand that why some of us are Christians and Muslims today, because people preach to us. People go through the pains to make sure we accept that which they are selling to us is the same thing. You know, just like someone from the AfCFTA secretariat said, he said, don't call them champions, call them AfCFTA soldiers. You know, these are the guys that are going out there to protect what our founding fathers give birth to. You know, so thank you so very much, and we'll see how we keep engaging with the country lead, because we from the fellowship secretariat, we can't do everything. You know, so these champions are the one, just like the regional coordinator for the Southern Africa. She's currently having a meeting with SEDEC Commission and GIZ. They're having a meeting on how this AfCFTA will be cascaded down to the local community. You see, a case of Ivory Coast, they are currently in partnership with the AfCFTA Implementation Committee for their country. They are focusing on sensitization. The same thing with Nigeria, the same thing with Malawi, the same thing with other countries. So we are moving one step at a time. And this is Africa. This is our project. It's not someone's project. I can tell you, we are currently in a fourth cohort. This is the fourth cohort, this, right? We are currently on the fourth cohort. We are doing things on our own. So thank you for the passion. And I can assure you, after now, we'll be working together. Because of our time, I think I've seen the country lead for South Africa. Okay, some of the country lead don't want to speak. Because of our time, if you permit me, let's just hear from Ernest. Your hand is up. And Michelle Omboy, your hand is up. These three are okay, so that we
Hi.
can proceed.
Sorry, before they proceed, sorry, this is Fabian. I have to leave because I have another meeting, and thank you so much for this platform and time. You be blessed.
Please,
For those who are
thank you.
asking, my name's Fabian Mudama in every platform. Because of
Drop
time,
your
I have to leave.
drop your information on the group. You know, you are an actress, so they need to add
Okay,
some
thank
movies.
you. All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so very much. Okay, Ernest, you wanted to say something?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, proceed.
Sorry to interrupt. Ernest, if you'll allow me, I am also currently in the office.
Yeah, sure. You can proceed.
Thank you very much. So my name is Michelle Ombui. I am an advocate practicing in Nairobi, Kenya, and I have been interested in this space for a long time. But in my experience so far, I find that a lot of opportunities are mostly on the western side of Africa. And obviously, without funding or enough capital, my contribution becomes limited in a sense. So I would like to know, because this fellowship seems like a good place to start, I'd like to know when the next cohort is taking place and if there's any fee to join, so that I feel like that's a step towards contributing to the free trade agreement implementation. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I will get that across, Ernest, and thank you for joining us. You have been here since day one. You know, we work hand in hand with the Secretariat. So already we have submitted our plan for the year. You know, we want them to approve because we want to increase the number. Last year we had 3,000 applications. You know, people that applied. We only take 300, and out of that 300, we only had 250 something persons that were committed. So we're asking them this year if we'll be able to expand a little bit with support from MasterCard, because they have actually reached out. So we are trying to see how we'll keep improving from one year or the other. So, but definitely you will see the call for applications, and just give it a shot. And possibly you can send either me a message, Tama Mondeyari, either on LinkedIn, or find a way to get to any champion from Kenya. Let them communicate to us so that we give special priority to this. Maybe I can use my vector power to get that done. Thank you so much, Ernest. Someone was raising up his hand. I didn't see him. Okay. There's this person, your hand is up. I think I changed your name to champion by mistake.
I think you responded to the lady from Kenya. I was not able to. Yeah. So thank you, Tama. My name is Ernest. I want to just thank you for your.
Oh, sorry, I mistakenly mute you. Sorry. Unmute yourself and speak, Ernest. Sorry.
Yes. Good afternoon again. Thank you, Tama, and all leaders from African Continental Free Trade Area and Secretariat. And I was just to respond to, and I was curious about the last presenter from Kenya, the lady, who she was very passionate about how can we translate this kind of trade opportunities that appear in AfCFTA into the local language that we normally use as a Swahili. And as I think I shared with you, Mr. Tama, and I think I need to connect with this lady from Kenya so that we can develop a very interactive and integrated platform by using the idea from his own, and also interact with Tanzania so that we can build a platform to make awareness, to make a capacity regarding this AfCFTA and other opportunities that are available, especially for the East African communities. So I don't know how can I reach this lady so that we can connect and move forward on how to develop the idea. Yeah.
Okay, I will reach out to her, then share your contact so that we can, because I wanted to ask her, why are you saying you don't work with AfCFTA? Because she has worked with AUNEPAD, she has worked with AfCFTA Secretariat. They are part of the creative, if you know, creative industry. They are the one planning that creative industry. They travels a lot, but those are the conversation we'll unlock after now. So once again, thank you. Because of our time, we have actually eaten up to our time. Possibly if some of us may have updates, reach out to us. But at the end of the day, we'll put this outlook that we have together, and we'll drop it in a group. For some of us who are linked to one media or the other, we'll be very happy for you to help us share. It's not about us, organization. It's about the champions, so that people will know that people like you exist in your respective countries. And please, engage your government. You have the right. Nobody will question you that who are you? Okay, I'm AfCFTA champions. This is my certificate. It can be verified anywhere they take it, as long as we are very much aware, or AfCFTA secretariat is very, every of the AfCFTA champion we submitted your name to the AfCFTA secretariat in Ghana. So it is not by chance we are in this journey together. So because of our time, we'll move to the next. We can only use 5 minutes. If you have any questions or clarity you want, please just, we only use 3 to 5 minutes. If you have any questions or clarification you want to make, please just raise up your hand, and do not forget to introduce yourself in the chat. Drop your LinkedIn account so that people can connect with you, your phone number, and maybe your country, also very important. So Fabian has dropped her Facebook name in the group, so that anyone that wants to link up with her can actually do that. She's a very popular person on Facebook, so can do that. So anyone with maybe a generic questions or question that need clarity, let's do that in the next few minutes. And once again, this event is streamed live, so you can always go back and watch it in case. Any question? Anybody you want to ask a question? Okay. As I didn't see any old or new hands, these hands, I think they were up since. But if your hand is up and you have not spoken, please just speak, or we proceed to the next.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Leshane Rakamufa, and I was part of the cohort last year. So my question is in regards to being part of let's say a national team that is not very motivated. So in as much as you try to push for LinkedIn pages for action, people are not really as dedicated. And when we say let's reach out to the government, let's find out what opportunities, what doors we can knock on, people are not as proactive. And then you end up feeling very discouraged. And once you're discouraged, it means that the rest of the team is actually not involved. So what kind of support does the Secretariat have for such situations where genuinely passionate people are being let down by their team at a national level?
Wow, that's a very wonderful question. That's a very wonderful question, because we have cases like that also in other countries where we were expecting leaders to lead, but they are just cold, and people behind want to actually do something, but because the head is not actually active, it become a problem. So it's a very big problem. But just as I said, if you have been following me from beginning, I said, be as selfish as anything. Be as selfish as anything. What do I mean is, because this fellowship, not everybody truly understand the important or the opportunities. So if you allow their lukewarmness or their pessimism overshadow your optimism, it becomes a problem. You know, so in a case where the national is not engaging, put up your own effort, put up your own energy, or you reach out to us and said, oh, the national, because sometimes we have such complaints and you cannot attend to all. I want to do this, I'm not doing. Go ahead and organize your things and take the credit yourself. We have cases even in Nigeria where individuals have organized their own personal engagement. Imagine how Nigeria active it is, but people still, you have to. We have just like countries like Ivory Coast. The AfCFTA said they want to fund them. Imagine we had a meeting last week with Tony Elumelu Foundation, and we told them we have champions in most especially Southern and Eastern African countries. You know, how can we give them support? Because most West African countries have individual philanthropies who can see an idea and say, okay, let me support. But some countries is very challenging. So you have to be very selfish. You have to think outside the box. If they are not responding, start on your own scale. Take the lead. And when it is time to break even, I can tell you there will be shock at the level which you move. And let me give you guys this example. The Southern Regional Director was a country lead. It was very challenging. She has the passion. And I told her, I said, okay, we are moving you away from the country. We are making you the regional director. We'll make her the regional director. This is the young lady currently today. She's having meeting with the regional directors, with SEDEC. She's not just attending. She's presenting what AfCFTA holds for SMEs. And they're about to launch SEDEC theme and the rest of it. So in your country, if the lead is not working, it is not an election. Talk more of you guys put your heads together and nominated him or her. If he or she is not working, do the same thing. Reach out to other individuals. If none of them is active, is either you carry it upon yourself or you look for individuals, just like the case of Nigeria. What they did was they look for individuals who are passionate about this thing and they form a movement. And they say, men, we can't stop. We can't stop. Imagine AfCFTA champions, put themselves together and generate 100,000. I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. Champions put themselves together and say, man, we have to support ourselves. We need to do this. We need champions because they understand the power of unity and what this opportunity holds for everybody. So if your country is not working, even if it is organized and online, I've said it, if you want to organize an online webinar, we have an account fully paid for the whole year. Reach out to us. We'll give you the platform for you to host your webinar. It all begins with a step. As you are doing it, someone is seeing you. And also build network with other people in other countries. Learn from them. Look at what they are doing. Oh, how are they doing it? Okay, they wrote a letter to this. They had a meeting. Because those people that you see, they don't want to do. If you are privileged to have a meeting with possibly one big person within the country, you will see all of them waking up. So this championship, your progress is never tied to anybody. And that is why we ask you people to go back and nominate or elect whatever you can do. And we give you guys leeway, freedom to pick as many people as you can to be your country lead as you can. And you guys nominated them. So it means if they are not representing you well, you push them away. No one is entitled to your destiny. You have to fight it and get it done. But please, we are always very happy. I'm always very happy to render support or maybe call for a meeting between myself and the team. Let's hear and see how we move from there. So thank you so much for that question. And I'm very happy if we can communicate behind the scene. There are countries we want to see them work. Countries like Namibia, countries like South Africa, countries like Rwanda. We have them. The followers are very active, but the leaders, I'm not saying those countries, I'm saying those countries, we want to see them being engaged. But there are other countries who the followers are very active, but the leadership are not really active. So there are so much And I think that will be the last question, except if you still have a question because your hand is still off. Is that okay?
No, thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, how can we do from our own end here? We are planning to link the champions with opportunities. We'll be having a conference in Uganda, where we'll give an opportunity to the AfCFTA champions for Uganda to present, to talk to the government of their country in September. I will be in Ghana from Monday. Any country AfCFTA, any country implementation chairperson I saw, because all of them will be there. I will project, I will pitch the national champions movement to them, and I'm sure with that all will be well. And also, with African Development Bank, even this morning, in respect to that issue. MasterCard Foundation has also reached out if there's any way we can organize a continental conference for AfCFTA champions. So we are trying to see what they're bringing on the table and what we will be bringing on the table and get that done. So all these plans will be unfolded at the end of the day. But please be as selfish as you can. The opportunity is for you, not for us as an organization. Because if you win, we will take the pride. So please, James, just 1 minute, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. My question is, what can we do? Maybe you link us with the previous cohort. Maybe there are some who are very active, and we have, like me, I'm very active, but I'm not even getting it through the leaders. Maybe we can connect and do something together. And then my second question, I hope you are still working on Awans. Maybe you can brief us on that. Thank you, sir. Bye.
The second question, we are still working on what?
On the awards that you were given.
Okay, awards. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So just as I said, we have been very meticulous in putting these champions. The previous champions we didn't bring. This is the first champion. This is the first cohort that we are bringing people together. The first cohort, we did it together with UNECA. We didn't house because we were very scared. So the second cohort, they leave it to us. They thought that's how it was. So this is the first cohort we are bringing people together. So what we are trying to do is we are introducing you to the other cohorts because they are not organized. If they can be a part of this previous cohort, but we'll still do that. We'll still find a way to link these cohorts with every other cohort. So for the issue of the awards, the Secretariat has given us the right. The Fellowship Secretariat has given us the right to award as many as we want to award. So we are taking it one step at a time. Hopefully, the lapels, printout, and the award frames will be available today. Most especially the lapel, because it took us a long period to get our security encrypted on the lapel and the rest of it. So finally, it's done. But it's unfortunate that some champions who paid money have actually asked for a refund. So we refunded because patience is a virtue, but some of them were not that very patient. So we, to avoid issues, because AfCFTA Secretariat was very concerned about people paying a token to get a lapel. But finally, we're able to navigate through the hurdles and we're getting it done. So we'll do that. So for the award, we'll still have a discretion. We can decide to give, but we'll still give another award, but we want to make sure the magazine is out before, because that is the most important thing. Because if you have magazine, you will know who is who. You'll be able to have access to your cohort information forever, except if you guys change phone numbers and the rest of it. That's what it is. So thank you so very much for those questions, and we move because we have wasted so much time. So way forward, most especially from us at the Secretariat. Oh, our communication our communication lead. So if you see all those communication in the group, is our Bolo Atife. Bolo Atife, please, can you just say hi? I never knew you were in the call. He's our communication director.
Okay, good day to everyone, irrespective of the time we have. And it's a pleasure to be in your midst. Well, I've been on the call and I've enjoyed every bit of the conversation as everybody are throwing their question and it's been answered by my Hidi himself. So let's all tighten our lace together and see how we can drive this initiative in achieving the goals for Africa at large. Thank you for having me at the moment. I will look forward to doing more with everyone.
Thank you so very much, Bolo Atife, our communication team. Lead, very, very happy to have you on call. So the way forward from our own end, we'll continue engaging ourselves. Just as I said, we'll be reach out before we onboard the next section. We'll be reaching out to each country lead, whether you work or you didn't work, to get your final report. Because if you observe, we have never collected any report from any country lead. We are strongly advised to allow champions because the rate at which countries' response differ. So we are sure before we onboard the next cohort, we'll be able to get a total report of your overall activities from each and every one of us. Then also, we are hoping if everything goes well, we'll be launching an AfCFTA Youth Trade Fund. Strictly for SMEs that are within the AfCFTA umbrella, most especially champions who will consider the AfCFTA champions businesses and networks before any other one. Then also we'll look for a way where the networks will continue to thrive and survive. It can either be this year or next year. We want to see how we can have a yearly gathering, a transnational yearly gathering in respect to the champions' activities, where at the end of every year, we use that opportunity to onboard the next cohort. But this is still in the pipeline, so possibly it might this year. Although we plan it in 2019. If you check on LinkedIn, AfCFTA Young Implementers Summit, that was what it's supposed to be, but it was challenging because then we were strongly advised to hold on. So hopefully, either this year or next year, we'll begin to have an annual gathering where all of us will play an important role. Then also, as usual, we'll be having conversation webinars in respect to the AfCFTA, and we will not be going outside. We will always seek for speakers among us. That is our term rules. We always seek speakers among the champions before we proceed. And this year also, we'll be having our annual Future of Education in Africa conference. This year, we'll be looking at the AfCFTA and education. We'll see how we look at the importance of what is the future, how would the future look like, most especially in preparing young people for jobs, for businesses. If you look at the way our education is planned, we are planned to work. We are not planned to create. We are not planned to own jobs. So we are trying to see how we'll get that done. So it will be in November, and it will be hosted in Uganda. So I hope our East regional team will work together and see how we make that possible. And we are informing you guys early so that we'll begin to, whatever we need to do from our own end to see that it is a participatory event for almost all of us. We'll make that possible. Then as usual, we always participate in the COPs, Conference of Parties every year. Only last year that I didn't go due to accreditation, but some of my teams were there. So yearly also we always participate in COPs, issues on that matter. Then the big one also for those in Nigeria, just yesterday we we move to a bigger office, where team can come over to visit us, and possibly if you are coming from a different country and you don't have a place to stay, we can comfortably give you a space. Sorry, someone is calling and I'm cutting it. Give you a space. So by the end of next week, we will be publishing our activities for the year. So you look at any of our activities that you think we can partner together, let's do it. Be it your personal business or your personal movement, we'll be very, very happy to work together. As long as we're a champion, we'll be very, very happy. As I said, be as selfish as you can. We are very ready to push to make it work. Our organization, we are a registered member with the World Bank CSOs Forum. We are also among the top 4 recognized in 2023 at the African Development Bank CSOs Forum. So at the African Development Bank, we are well known, and also other international organizations. So when we work together, it gives your organization visibility and also credibility. So we are here for one another. Just as usually says Ubuntu, we stand, rub your shoulder and I rub our shoulder. So we'll be having a lineup of activities next that will be pulling up. But in a country basis, try as much as possible to engage, sell product. We are very happy, most especially for some of you who want to sell your product in Nigeria. I'm sure Nigeria team will be very, very happy to be of support. For some of us who want to build payment gateway, please go ahead, don't waste time. The world is not waiting for procrastinators. The world is actually looking for action-oriented people who put in action, not just talk. So there are a lot of opportunities, and we will also be in Ghana from Monday. For the next 1 week. If you will be in Ghana, please let's try and connect. For every champion that will be in Ghana, for this particular purpose, because we want to showcase ourselves, we'll be giving you lapel, AfCFTA champion certified lapel, encrypted with our security, for you. It has never been worn anywhere. No AfCFTA champions lapel anywhere in the whole world. It is only you. And we are the only one that has been given that right to do that. So you can wear it and speak boldly as an AfCFTA champion. So if you make yourself available in Ghana, we'll make it available for you for free. Then for those who make payment for the lapel and the award frame, we'll be sending it across to you very soon with also some gifts attached to it. So we are one family and we look forward to engaging as one family. Now, the AfCFTA Youth Champions Magazine unveiling. For the AfCFTA magazine unveiling, unfortunately, we're supposed to unveil, as I discussed with some people today, the corrections we have made. It has been approved, but we were asked to make some linguistic correction. So we send it to the fellowship secretariat for them to give us an approval. But currently, they have not returned from what did they call this? Is it World Economic Forum or what is it? There's a program they went. We have not received. But before weekend, we will be sending it to the group. The reason why we have not sent the draft to the group, because when you send anything to that group, champions will begin to spread it, and we don't want to be whole responsible for something that is not appropriate. But we can assure you, by weekend or next week, we'll have it published in the group and everywhere we can share from our own end. But from today, we have received the right to publish it. We just want to receive a legal confirmation that, okay, the correction we guys asked you to effected has been done. We are under authority. We don't want to add so that we will not put the champions in jeopardy. Your future is important to us. So once again, thank you so very much for that. Everybody, this is how the fellowship is. This is how the magazine will look like. A very wonderful front design page with faces of some of our active champions. Then the inside also the African Union national anthem. Then the faces of people from the fellowship secretariat. After fellowship secretariat, the regional directors. After the regional directors, the country leads. After the country leads, we talk about what the AfCFTA is all about, some moments. Then the faces of all the 300 champions are there. Then we have a section also where we talked about the businesses that we all share. We asked you to submit your kind of business. So we created pages also for business visibilities. And also we talk about some countries and the current level of the protocols. Where are they? And some of the works that the champions are doing collectively, and also some of the wins and the lose. Then we have some puzzles at the back, at the last pages of the magazine, some puzzles and the back cover page, so that be caught unaware. But everyone that submitted this picture, it will appear there. Your phone number will be there, your email address will be there, and also your country of origin. And for some of us who live differently from our country of origin, it will be stated there, country of origin and country of residence, so that people that want to reach out to you can do that. Please, if you have not introduced yourself or you are just joining, introduce yourself so that others will get to know you. Please, if you are not following us on social media, do that. Follow us so that we'll follow you back. We'll be very happy to share the activities you are doing, whether it relates to AfCFTA or not. But as long as you're a champion, your engagement is our priority. Please do not forget to tag us. We'll share it. Our communication director is here, who is always 24/7, 365 online, making sure all your information are being shared and the rest of it. And please do not hesitate to reach out to us if you need a recommendation letter or anything. Some people just reach out and said, I need a recommendation letter without any prior information. Not information. How do we write a recommendation? What are we saying? There is no generic recommendation letter. We don't write generic. But if you have a particular institution or particular activities that you want us to recommend you, we will definitely do that. We have done that at people at the AUIV, the African Union Volunteers Cup. The last year, we had over 7 people that were recommended that were accepted. African Union, Pan-African Scholarship, PU, Pan-African African Union scholarships, that they always do. We have recommended a lot of people for that. So if you're applying for a job and you want to be recommended, please, we'll be very, very happy to recommend you as long as you are part of the champions. Whatever it will take for us to support you, please do not hesitate to actually reach out to us, and we are making plans for exchange programs between countries. And apart from exchange program that has to do with selling of products, that's exchange product, where we are looking for champions in other countries to help spread the good news of other champions product within their countries. And from there, one step at a time, we'll be able to get it done. And it is on behalf of the fellowship secretariat, they are CD themselves. We apologize that sometimes inquiries can be too much, and sometimes it is not in our jurisdiction. Anything that is within our jurisdiction, we usually do it as quick as possible. But anything that is beyond our jurisdiction, like some people who are asking for recommendation letter from the African Union, we have to write to the AfCFTA Secretariat. Then AfCFTA Secretariat will have to write to the African Union so that they'll be able to get it. So sometimes the bureaucracy usually takes time. So that's the reason behind some of the delays. So thank you so very much, and keep engaging. Wherever you can, keep engaging. Within our network, we have people, currently who have been positioned to become president of their country. And I can tell you, in the next 2 years, one of us will become a president of a particular country. Imagine if you're a champion, you can easily reach out and said, hey, we were in the same AfCFTA Champions Fellowship together. How far? If you look at the magazine, I'm at this number. This is where I was. This is where I am. This is where I am. And you build relationship. Before you know, you guys will become Paddy, and that is how to build generational wealth. You don't build generational wealth by money. You build it by relationship. Everybody you are seeing doing very well at the top, they do it based on relationships. I can travel to any country in Africa, and if I like, I have people who said, no, I have a home, come and stay. This street that I'm going in Ghana, champions reached out and said, we want to do this. I said, no, let me do it myself. And just as I said, Bolo Atife can bear me witness. The champions in Nigeria put themselves together and contributed 100,000 foreign currency. Bolo Atife, am I lying, sir?
No, sir.
Yeah, we were together. That tells you the important, because they value this, and some of them currently are engaging with the government. So that is what we actually want. That is the dream.
May I add that they even just had the meeting, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, with one of the ministry, that is the AfCFTA secretariat, AfCFTA itself.
So those are the kind of things that give us joy. So please don't lose guard, keep pursuing. And just as I said, if you don't have a product, please get yourself a product, even if it is small, even if it is online. Just get yourself a product, that is named after you. I'm sure you can't afford to allow your children to go through what you are going through. I'm sure you will never allow. So the only way out of this thing is to start a generational wealth, to start building something. The sky is big for every bird to fly. Everybody can become rich in Africa. Everybody, because we are so blessed. But we are all waiting. We're all waiting for the right time. There is no right time. Every time is the right time. So if you don't start now, there won't be better right time than today. So once again, thank you so very much for the effort you guys are putting, and we'll support you in any way we can possibly. And if there's any way you can support us, please do not hesitate to do that. Conferences, networking opportunities, and whatever it can, get it done. And we also will try as much as possible. We'll do that. Just like I reach out to the AfCFTA secretariat for this event they organized in Ghana, and I said, can one of our champions come and translate for free? But because of the politicking and I've not received any response from them. But when we meet in Ghana, when we start exchanging blow, they will know that we are serious. So once again, thank you so very much. I don't know whether if anyone have from the champions a final remark or anything that we need to do to improve my own end. We'll be very, very happy to do that. Anyone that have not spoken. Because sometimes we say we need correction. If we don't need correction, we say we need to be tapped at the back and said, you guys are doing well, keep it up. And don't allow me to call him because it will be bad.
Yes, Director.
Okay, dear leader, proceed.
Thank you so much, Tama. Thank you so much, fellow champions. We just wanted to commend you for thinking it that you bring us together to sort of promote peer learning. Actually, I, for one, have learned a lot from this session. What's happening in East Africa, West Africa, Nigeria. This is very encouraging, and especially where you feel challenged with what others are doing. Nigeria coming up with a platform where they want to bring youth together. I, for one, am really encouraged, and definitely will keep in touch, colleagues. Let's help out. It's one continent, so divided, but I believe there is beauty in our variety. Though we have different political boundaries, cultural backgrounds, but this is one continent, and we are a generation to build or rebuild Africa. So thank you so much once again, Tama. You're doing great, and I know there's so much more ahead of us, including uniting Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Andrew Juma, and I'm very happy for what you're doing. I saw all you are doing. You represent your country at the COP last year. You are speaking for the country. I am very, 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 very proud. So whenever I see you, and you are not just doing that, you are also God-fearing in your dealings. So we look forward to seeing how your country will take advantage of your wealth of knowledge, and we keep moving. Just as you said, there is a beauty. So once again, thank you everyone, and let's keep engaging. To Jeremiah. Jeremiah, any last word? What are we expecting from you? You have a product that we are waiting to hear. When are you? Jeremiah, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yes. We by God's grace, by May this year, the digital product should be in the test nest phase, where we would push it out first, probably to all our own champions first for test nest. Test nest, which is we will first actively onboard people, test it out, put out all the processes to see how it works, what isn't working, take proper feedback before we do the massive major launch. But by May this year, it should go through test phase by God's grace.
Thank you.
With the help
Thank
of
you so
the
very much.
Fellowship Secretary of Service.
Thank you so very much, and we look forward. And let's take advantage of the UNDP in different countries to reach out to them. They have some funds currently ongoing for anything that is related to AfCFTA. And at least even if it is 15,000 to 20,000 USD, they're throwing it to go a long way in supporting what we are doing. So thank you so very much, and we appreciate each and every one of us effort. And let's continue engaging as family. Jacobina from Namibia, are you okay? I didn't see you. Okay, very amazing and productive person. Doing so much in the area of electric vehicle. Doing one of the most amazing person from Namibia, breaking records. Thank you so much. Finally, I saw Pembura. Pembura, our ECOWAS regional director. Can you hear me? Okay. Possibly she's very busy. So once again, everyone, thank you so very much. We'll stop the recording and streaming so that